Well, welcome to Ravensdale Bible Academy. My name is Tony Jamie, and today's course is Introduction to Marriage, and today's lesson is Virtues of a Godly Wife. Now, when we look at the virtues of a godly wife, Proverbs 31 is definitely our anchor, but the scripture is riddled with just these great examples of what godly wives look like, what ungodly wives look like. Honestly, we see some bad examples. But we start in 1 Timothy 2, and in 1 Timothy 2, verse 2, we see that it begins with this idea of being peaceful, quiet, and dignified. And so a godly wife has this great virtue, right? She's not a loose cannon. She doesn't say crazy things. She is somebody who brings peace, who brings stability to the conversation, laughs and not, you don't have to be like the life of the party, but you're definitely not somebody who creates and brings strife. And so that's kind of the idea there. And then Galatians 5 also reminds us that as we're walking in the Spirit, as a virtue of a godly wife, as she walks in the Spirit, which means she walks in love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, self-control. These are elements that she lives by. This is the way she functions and operates in her virtue. Well, and it ends actually with self-control. We have to be, have control of yourself, control of your emotions, right? It's a very important part of the virtue. Well, in Proverbs 31, we see that a picture of a godly wife. It's an excellent wife. Who can find her? For her worth is far above jewel. The heart of her husband trusts in her. Her children praise her. That definitely should be your desire as a woman. Your desire as a young lady should be, I want to be a Proverbs 31 gal. And really the desire of a young man should be, and I want to marry a Proverbs 31 gal. God is so just unbelievably blessed me. My wife is definitely a Proverbs 31 woman, and it's true, an excellent wife. Who can find that the Lord brought her to me. We just have nothing but amazing things to say about her. Her children, the same thing, her family, her friends. What an absolute blessing. Well, what are the 10 key points from Proverbs 31 that we can glean from, that we can kind of take away real quick in today's lecture? Well, the first one's faith. It all begins with she needs to be a believer. This is just, not a question. Set in your heart right now that that my spouse, my wife, has to be a Christian. We've talked about not being unequally yoked in marriage, right? We've talked about that as, you can't have two oxen going in a different direction. Well, imagine spiritually, you want your children to be Christian. You want your children to follow the Lord. Your wife needs to be a woman of faith. And so she needs to be a believer. That's just, no questions. That's first thing on the list. Second, she needs to be, a faithful person. She needs to be trustworthy. The husband is going to be away from the home. He's going, husbands and wives aren't working side by side, during the day. And so there's got to be trust. In that trust comes respect. A godly woman is mothering. A godly woman is mothering. She teaches, she nurtures, she disciplines. She's the one who's kind of, the mother hen of the house. She maintains the fourth element we see is the health of the home, the physical health, the mental health, the emotional health, the stability. She's the anchor. And this is why, again, the idea of the role of a wife being a homemaker is not a slight. There's no greater responsibility, no greater privilege, no greater duty. There is no greater vocation than being a mother who raises her children, who keeps the whole house healthy. not only physically, but mentally, spiritually, but emotionally. This is why so many houses are in disarray, because two people are running off to work and the whole thing is just a big scrambled mess from the time you wake up in the morning and everybody's running around and kids are running around and going in different directions, and it's just a big ball of confusion. Well, the fifth element is service. A godly wife is one who serves. She serves her family. She serves friends. She serves the community. She's not the opposite of service, which is selfish and lazy. She's a servant. She has a servant's heart. This is a trait of a godly woman. She's also a good steward. She's good with the money. She understands the budget. She's wise with the money. In fact, she even knows how to invest and make money grow and get bigger. We see this in Proverbs 31. The seventh element is she's industrious. She spends her time well. She does a lot of things. Not only does she do the homemaking skills, but she can have a side business. She can have a side hustle. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. In fact, in today's day and age, it is very, very difficult for a husband to make the kind of income to provide for all the bills, to meet all the budget of the house. I wish it wasn't that way, but it is that way. And so we're finding that, it's nice to have two incomes, and there's definitely great books out there that talk about having two incomes and still being broke, because there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. And one of the right ways to do it is if you're able to make money while in the home. You actually save a ton of money by working out of the home. But a godly wife is industrious. There's no mandate against working, but there is a blessing for the wife being that homemaker. The ninth element is she's wise with her time. She's wise with her time. She has a daily schedule. She has a daily pattern. She rises up early and stays up late. Listen, life is not easy. Life is not just lying around the pool doing nothing. If you're good with your time, if you spend your time wisely, there will be time to do everything, to have fun, to do work, to do play. I've watched my wife, who we have 5 children, do homeschooling, do gardening, keep house, have a side hustle. And she does this all out of her home, and plenty of time to sew, plenty of time to spend time with friends, Bible study. There's time. You just have to spend it wisely. And then finally, beauty. A virtuous, godly wife is one who's beautiful, not on the outside, but on the inside. All these elements, all these characteristics are her virtue, are her character. And so that's what true beauty is. And we have to make sure that our men understand what true beauty is, and our women as well. And so the virtues of a godly wife, Proverbs 31, will teach you to be concerned with the things that God's concerned with regarding beauty, regarding what a good mate looks like. If you concern yourself with what God's concerned about, then you will be the Proverbs 31 woman, and you will find the Proverbs 31 wife.